Oh, I'm picking out a thermos for you. Not every thermos for you. But with the extra best thermos you can buy, with vinyls and stripes and a cup right in. I'm picking out a thermos for you. And maybe a barometer too. And what else can I buy? So on me I rely. And we're a thermometer too.
David.
Oh, you irritating little man! Why don't you knock before you burst into my retreat?
It's my office, David. I don't need to knock.
And it's also my place of work where I look after a lot of sick people.
It's not though, is it? It's pretend.
You know nothing about my life, Neil. The daily struggles of running your own business, whilst also being single-handedly responsible for the security of the whole building and all of the businesses within it. Then there's the rapid response team, which I head, and that can be very challenging, especially when certain members of staff, not looking at anyone in particular, are such a burden on the company and are repeatedly making mistakes that are tantamount to gross misconduct. Then there's the pressure of heading a 111-piece orchestra full of egotistical celebrities who are all desperate for a piece of David's pie. Then there's the interviews, the meetings, the lunches, the brunches, 11s, advertising deals with Euroshopper Cola, and more in the pipeline. How on earth and why on earth would David pretend to have all of this hanging over him?
I've no idea, but you do.
Nonsense, Neil, and I'll tell you what. I think you're the danger man, and you're trying to infiltrate our systems. Yeah, you've a flamenco entourage lurking around the corner, and you're ready to unleash them on David. You hurtle through crawl spaces with your treacle finger, and you mean to cause harm to anyone and anything that gets in your way.
But you said that the danger man was specifically after me, and now you're saying that I am him.
It's peculiar, I'll give you that, but yes, that's exactly what you're doing.
David, you don't make any sense.
Oh, I'm making perfect sense, and I think you should turn round and head back out of that door, taking your flamenco entourage with you. You're not welcome here. I've Alison Moyer coming any second now, and we have some important musical refrains to practice, and I don't want you jeopardising my band.
Just relax, David, it's just me. I've come to get on with some admin.
Don't talk to me about admin. David is drowning in this stuff. Can you imagine having to keep dossiers on 110 people? When you're in a band with these people, you can't be too careful, and when you add to that the fact that some of them are David's inmates, it's a sensitive situation, and my mind is working overtime. I had to eat some of my own flesh earlier, as I didn't have time to get any provisions.
You ate some of your own flesh?
Yeah, I managed most of my right arm, but I was interrupted by a squirrel. I thought it might have been you, but now I see it wasn't.
So why have you still got a complete arm?
What are you talking about? It regenerated, Neil. I wish you'd read a book from time to time, then maybe you wouldn't ask so many ridiculous questions.
David, your arm hasn't grown back. You're a liar.
How dare you call David a liar? David comes from a long line of good, decent, honest men, and he will not be referred to as a liar in his own home.
Well, you are a liar, and I think it's time that Sue had words with you.
Sue and I are in complete agreement over everything. I call her frequently using my internal earpiece, and we talk about you. We talk about you most of the time. You're such a liability, and the cost to the company is enormous because of the 28 staff. All of them need at least 75% of their timetables to offload about you and share their concerns with either Sue or David. We don't know what to do about you anymore.
That's a lie.
There you go again, blaming everyone else. Neil, you're on thin ice, boy, and I suggest that you go away for a long period of time, preferably away from civilization, so that you don't cause any more damage. Maybe after that, we might be able to have you back under strict conditions.
I'm not listening anymore, David. Why are there printouts of Alison Moyer all over my desk?
I needed some posters to welcome her, and I had to use the printer. As you can imagine, you're out of ink once again because David needed 132 posters of Alison, and you clearly haven't been keeping on top of the ink situation. Anyway, I found some pens and I'm drawing the rest.
David, you're terrible at drawing.
You wash your mouth out, you bozo! David trained alongside Picasso, and I actually mentored him through his formative years. You can't teach what I have. You can only hope that the next budding artist might be able to mimic some of your techniques.
David, you can barely hold a pen or open an orange.
That was a sweet clam, and I told you they're different to what I'm used to.
Well, I've heard enough for today. You've clearly deteriorated, so I'll see you soon.
You won't see me anytime soon. I'll have you ejected from the building, never to return. Good grief. Yeah, see you soon. Irritating little boy. Good grief. I'm picking out a Thermos for you. Love, David.